Hello, this is Mr. Kuchma, and I want to talk to you guys about your big science report for Environmental Sciences 11. I figured a video would be very helpful because in the end, the goal of science is to create curiosity and wonder at the world that God made, and I think with this specific course, environmental sciences, being able to go to A Rocha and seeing some of the things they're doing, hopefully has inspired you in some way to think about science differently, and to think about sustainability, to think about stewardship and things like that. So I have been to A Rocha. I went there. This is my little son Jonas. He's 6, and me and Shay went through, and we got to see all the cool different things that they're partnered with, and all the different things that they do, and the wonderful site that they have. They've got gardens, they've got orchards, they've got forest. This might actually be built. I think this was supposed to be a composting station. They have a wonderful trail network. Shay took me for a nice guided tour all the way through. I took some pictures. It was so fun to actually be there and get to see some of what you guys are going to be seeing. So I'm just kind of going through some of these pictures. But the hope is that having gone through some time at A Rocha and actually getting to see, life out there in the environment, I'm hoping that something jumped out at you. Something was really interesting. Maybe it was the forest. Maybe it was the mushrooms. Maybe it was the plants. Maybe it was the insects. Maybe it was the benthic invertebrates that you guys looked at. Maybe it was the pond and the moss. Something here should have at least captured your attention, and in the final, or in this big science report that you're going to be doing at the end, what I'm hoping is for you guys to do a deeper dive into one specific thing that you've learned about. It could be about soil. It could be about salmon. It could be about one of the other fish that's there. It could be about the turtles. It could be about a specific grass. It could be about a certain relationship. It could be about, their orchard or some sort of thing, the restoration. But I want you to choose one topic from the amazing work that they are doing there, something that's captivated you, and I want you to dive deeper into the research. So I want to explain that a little bit more. It's easier to be very specific than to be general. If you said, oh, I really liked the forest, there are whole textbooks on forests, and that would be quite difficult to narrow down into a project. But maybe you are really interested in the cedar grove, so a specific tree. Maybe you really like the cedars. You could do a project just on the cedar trees. You could look at how First Peoples used them in the past, and maybe how they're currently using them. You could find out what symbiotic relationships cedars have with other plants and animals. If you wanted to do it on a fish, don't do it on all the fish that maybe spawn in the ponds and in the rivers, but maybe do it on just a specific type of salmon, and find out everything that you can about them. Find out, if they're good to eat. Find out when they spawn. Find out their life cycle. Do as much research just about that one thing. The thing about science is that oftentimes it's so general and you learn so many amazing things. I want this to be very specific, and I want you to be able to dive deep into something. And so the way that I'm going to have it laid out on the actual course page is you are going to do a rough draft. So you're going to do a bunch of research, and then you're going to do a rough draft report, and I'm going to let you know how it's going. Where's my rough draft? So oftentimes there's going to be some criteria. I'm kind of editing this to make it look a little bit nicer. But I'm going to have a rough draft, and I'm just going to tell you, like, if there's some suggestions that I have for you, I'll let you know. And if something's like really great, I'm going to commend you on it. And so you're going to get kind of an overall idea of what grade you're sitting at. So I'm not going to grade it per se and say this is an 80% or a 50% or a 100%, but I want you to let me know what grade you're aiming for. So if you're aiming for a B, I'm going to try to help you get a B on this project or on this report. If you're trying to get an A+, I'm going to try to help you get an A+. So you're going to do a rough draft, and then you will do a final report. And that'll be different. So I just wanted to let you know a little bit about this. I'm going to write out some instructions here for you so that you can see that. But that's just a quick little introduction to the science report. I'm excited to see what you guys are interested in and what has kind of stood out to you about going there. I know that when I was there, I don't even know what I would choose. I really, really enjoyed the forested area. But there was all these really, really cool sounds when I was here at the water. So I probably would do some sort of report on an animal or something like that I found there. I know that they have, like, I'm pretty sure it was like a rare owl or something in the area. I'm sure Shay's maybe talked about some of the things that some of the different animals that they have and the habitat that they have here. So this is your introduction to the science report. I'm excited to see you guys diving deeply into the content. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to shoot me a message because I want to help you write a really great report. And I'll have some like criteria about what I want you to include in your report. So that will all be in the instructions. But good luck and dive deep.